very few horror films that actually scare me, especially slasher films. Of the original slasher films that came out in like the 70s, I would say the only two that affected me on a gut level were Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Halloween. The story of Halloween is Mike Myers, a serial killer, Michael Myers, goes to hunt down his sister, Laurie Strode, who has been adopted by a new family. Meanwhile, his old psychiatrist, Dr. Loomis, is trying to find him and put a stop to him once and for all. This quaint town, full of very relatable characters, is just suddenly ambushed by this monster who comes out of the depths of hell to terrorize his sister, and there's no way of stopping him. I believe half the budget was spent on just the film cameras and the film stock, as this film had almost no budget with $300,000. John Carpenter and Deborah Hill wrote the script in 10 days. At that point, the movie didn't even take place on Halloween, but a producer said to make it take place on a certain holiday, and they chose Halloween. Probably because it fit really well, and also if you were to release a scary film around Halloween time, you would make a fuck ton of money. They filmed the whole movie in 20 days. There was no wardrobe or anything. Jamie Lee Curtis bought her own clothes. John Carpenter composed the score in 3 days, apparently, although I don't believe that. It is one of the most iconic scores of all time, you can't deny that, and it's one of my favorite aspects of this film. There's not a lot to it, it's just a basic synth score, but the melodies are very memorable and scary. The director of photography on Halloween is Dean Cundey, who also filmed the second Halloween and the third Halloween. All of these three are the best looking Halloween movies, 100%. And it's fun to see how he kind of adds to the color palette throughout the rest of the movies. In the second film, he introduces like red in certain scenes, and same thing with Halloween 3. But he always sticks to that cold blue look, and I really like it. This movie feels more expensive than it is because of the look of it. To go along with those Panavision cameras, they also used a camera stabilizer called Panaglide. This is how they were able to get those tracking shots of Laurie and her friends walking down the street. It's also used during the chase scene at the end. John Carpenter mainly used it for efficiency. He could just have people walk down the street and do tracking shots, and that was it. It allowed him to shoot a lot of footage in one day. Obviously, the Panaglide isn't perfect, and Steadicam kind of beat them out. Not a lot of films have used Panaglide either, or at least none that are famous. My favorite character in the entire series is Dr. Loomis, played by Donald Pleasance.
Go ahead, Lonnie.
Hey, Lonnie, get your ass away from there.
Who is excellent. There's something about that low budget that's just, it's the perfect ingredient for horror, I think. And like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, part of what makes that movie so fantastic is that low budget, gritty look. It feels like you're watching a snuff film or something. It adds a texture to the movie that's great. And then every other Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie just isn't that. It isn't that powerful. You can't replicate that again. One thing that I've always liked about the Halloween films, and what separates them from movies like Friday the 13th, which I love too, they're not good in the way that Halloween is good. Those movies are about watching bad characters get killed in really goofy ways, and it's entertaining. And Halloween has never been about the kills. There's subtlety to it because you know he's always watching, and that's what makes it creepy. And it's a subtlety that the rest of these movies don't have at all. The rest of these Halloween movies. And you see Michael Myers staring from like behind a curtain at like a girl lifting up her shirt, and it's a close-up of her bra. There's no depth.
A lot of the recent films have started to rely on blood and shock as opposed to sort of suspense and the psychological aspect. And I think that's one of the things that draws us in and scares us the most. I know our inspiration, John's inspiration, was Hitchcock and the fact that he did so much with psychology as opposed to, even though knives appear periodically.
There are some deleted scenes, about 10 minutes worth, that were shot for the television version of Halloween that they were going to air. It needed to be 2 hours, so they added a scene with like Dr. Loomis talking to a few psychiatrists, Laurie Strode just hanging out with her friends. I like those scenes too. It fleshed out the story a little more. I'm not going to go through the new Halloween movies, so we'll leave the Rob Zombie movies for another time, and we'll leave the remake, the second remake, for another time. Or is that a reboot? It was like a soft reboot. We have 3 movies called Halloween. We have Halloween, we have Rob Zombie's Halloween, and then we have the other Halloween, which is a sequel to Halloween 2? The thing that starts to get fucked about this series too is the continuity of the story. The only ones that John Carpenter worked on are 1 and 2. There's the Season of the Witch universe, which is just one movie. You have 4, 5, and 6, and those are kind of set in their own storyline, but they have nothing to do with Jamie Lee Curtis. And then, when they made H2O, apparently everything from 4 to 6 is just not canon now. Then there's the Rob Zombie one, which has a sequel, and these 2 are their own thing, and that's it. The Halloween cinematic universes start to get very confusing. Huh?
Oh, Tommy, stop it!
It's a Halloween sequel set in a hospital. There's definitely moments I like in it. The last act of the movie is pretty good when Laurie gets chased around by Michael Myers again. This film does still have the ingredients to make a Halloween film work. It has John Carpenter's score, it has Donald Pleasance as Dr. Loomis, and it has Dean Cundy's cinematography. One of the most bizarre things about this film is that it's the same director as Halloween Resurrection. I watched the chase scenes in that film and they're so bad. The cutting is too quick. The music and sound effects are obnoxious. Now watch how the masters do it. It kind of proves to me that Dean Cundy is really what makes these movies work. Dean Cundy's cinematography and John Carpenter's score. This is the stuff that makes Halloween 2 worth watching at the end of the day. It gets the moments like this right. This film had a significantly larger budget and more resources because the first Halloween was so successful. Halloween 2 stays true to the first film's like simplistic approach, but there's still like explosions and... What the fuck was that?
It came out of nowhere.
Why aren't your sirens on? The middle of this film, I think, really drags. I didn't find any of the hospital staff that interesting. I like the music, even though it's the same score from the last film, just different instrumentation. Because more money was thrown at this project and we have more locations and more cast members and more kills, it becomes kind of It lacks subtlety, which is what made the first one scary. More of an emphasis is placed on the blood and the gore and the kills this time. So now let's talk about the one that everyone hates, Halloween 3, even though this one's good. Of course, I've seen all these films many times as I've grown up. I've loved the Halloween movies. And I never liked Season of the Witch because it had nothing to do with Mike Myers. And it was just this weird story about this company that made these masks that would turn kids' heads into snakes and reptiles or whatever. They originally wanted Halloween to be an anthology series, and in the context of the rest of these films, knowing what happened now, that this is the only one that's like this, it's like, what the fuck does this have to do with the rest of these? Where's Mike Myers? But this is a very different approach to a Halloween movie, which is why I like it. And it's not even a horror movie so much as it is a thriller and a commentary on consumerism. Michael Myers in this film is not a silent, knife-wielding serial killer. It's a businessman who puts on a friendly face, but he's actually performing this ritual to sacrifice all of these people.
The Festival of Samhain. The last great one took place 3,000 years ago, and the hills ran red with the blood of animals and children.
And he's a sick bastard. Dan O'Herlihy plays this character, Colonel Cochran, and he is the highlight of the film. Another character I really liked was Daniel, played by Tom Atkins.
What he said was, they're gonna kill us all. And in a little while, he was dead. And I don't know what the hell is going on.
Who is this doctor who happens to be around when one of the patients is killed by this man in a suit. That's a very odd way to kill someone, but alright, if that's what you want to do. Could have just shot him. He gets caught immediately by this nurse, and then he just walks out of the hospital, and he has a gas canister in his car, and he blows himself up. It's very silly. It doesn't seem very effective. This film looks great. It's the second best shot film in the entire series. And there's some moments in here that are like true detective level chase scenes. During this scene at the bar, there's a television on in the background that acts as a fill light for his face. The light fades in and out since it is a TV. As he's revealing sensitive information about this girl's father dying, the fill light from the television fades out and gives a contrast to the scene, makes it more dramatic. It's so subtle and clever, I love it. There are definitely moments that are dated. The Silver Shamrock jingle, which I think has become iconic at this point. I love it though, it's really catchy. It's a shame this movie is in the context of the rest of these films. I guess it's a good thing because more people have seen this movie as a result. Aside from it being set on Halloween and having similar elements, like the opening credits being a pumpkin, except this time it's on a TV screen. There's also a synth score, but this time it feels more droning. In the context of this film, the original two Halloween movies are just movies, and they're not real, which actually is a clever way to play the original Halloween theme in the film.
Happy Halloween.
So these movies all kind of blend together in my brain. The fourth one is actually okay, because it does introduce some elements that are pretty interesting, that liven it up a bit from Halloween 2. It is still about Michael Myers hunting down people and trying to kill them. And I'm willing to embrace the goofier slasher tone. It's trying to be more like something like Friday the 13th now, focusing on kills, random characters that just get killed. But really what you have holding this movie together is one, Dr. Loomis, who somehow survives the explosion from Halloween 2.
We're not talking about any ordinary prisoner, Hoffman. We are talking about evil on two legs.
And you also have the dynamic between these two sisters.
How about this afternoon I pick you up from school and we go get ice cream?
Double scoops?
Double scoops.
Like it's plucked right out of Full House.
I'm sorry I ruined everything. If I wasn't here, you can go out.
Oh.
Good job, Rachel. That little girl needs all the love we can give her right now.
Is that Bob Saget? It's a very silly movie, but once you embrace it, I found it quite entertaining. The look of the film is very inconsistent. The mask doesn't look all that great. But still, this movie does have its moments.
I knew this day would come. Don't go to Haddonfield.
And then Donald Pleasance runs out as the Halloween theme is playing and he yells, "Michael!" It's pretty epic. In terms of the story and the cinematography, it feels more creative than the later entries that kind of try to pull off the same tone. There's a Michael Myers task force and just a bunch of them shoot Michael Myers at the end. I did like the ending of this film as well. No! No! Donald Pleasance looks genuinely horrified. This is like his crawl space moment where he snaps. The shape will never die. No! Not as long as they keep making money. Jamie is mute now. Dr. Loomis is like a crazy man.
So she was perfectly all right. Her whole body was shaking.
He's like yelling in an 8-year-old girl's face.
What do you think he's going to do with that?
Leave the little girl alone.
But at least you have these nice scenes of Jamie and her sister bonding. Some of the best parts of Halloween.
Open up!
Oh god, no. This character is so annoying. Her sense of humor is obnoxious and not funny at all. Wow, this is a really purposeful scene. And then she goes out of the house in her towel because she's scared Michael Myers is there. And then after they're done checking on the house, they play like these goofy sound effects.
All clear.
Nothing above, nothing below.
What?
That's a job.
And we love it.
The mask looks really bad in this movie. I don't know how hard it is to just make the same mask again. Oh, hey, Ralph the Movie Maker. Oh my god, it's Bruce Willis's agent, Larry Coxlock. Yep, I'm a talent agent, and I just want to let you know, I think your dog is amazing. We have a script we'd like you to check out. Oh, it's a dog horror film. What do you think of this? It stars Paul Rudd, from Ant-Man, of course. In this film, he's playing Paul Rudd, as usual.
That must be Tommy. On a weirdness scale of 1 to 10, he rates about a 13. He's harmless, though. Probably just lonely.
Or horny. Something you probably haven't felt in a while.
Wow, that was really good dialogue. The plot is really stupid and involves some kind of Michael Myers cult. And they want to take Jamie Lloyd's baby and make it into Michael Myers through some kind of ritual. Introducing some kind of satanic cult into Halloween is so pointless. They give our lead character an abusive husband.
Get away from her!
It's so manipulative. Then you have this moron.
I think it's cool.
They are just put there to be killed by Michael Myers. Really irritating fast editing. This is the last film to star Donald Pleasance, as he passed away in 1995.
This house is sacred to him. He has all his memories here. His rage!
The film does feel incomplete because of that. Paul Rudd beats Michael Myers a little bit and then leaves, and it fades to black, and then you see Donald Pleasance, and he's all like...
No, I have a little business to attend to here.
Then you hear him screaming, and that's the end of the movie. What else is there to even say about this film?
I won't let anything happen to you.
A few words about Halloween from the creator.
I think the best thing about Halloween is the script of Halloween. I think without the script, there's nothing could be done. I think we got this writer, what's his name?
Daniel something.
Daniel Ferens. I think he did an excellent job. Excellent.
I find H2O to be the most forgettable film in the entire series. Jamie Lee Curtis is back, and I think her relationship with her son was the strongest part of the film.
And I need you to be responsible. Do you know what that means? Responsible.
Don't talk to me about responsible, Mom.
I just need this one thing.
Mom, I am not responsible for you!
They gave genuinely good performances. However, the Michael Myers mask was once again so bad at points that it was CGI. I don't understand why they did that. I think there's a lot about it that was well executed. I don't think this is a bad movie. I think it's a mediocre slasher film. Now we get to the final film we'll be talking about. Evil Finds Its Way Home, Halloween Resurrection. And in the previous films, you were accustomed to watching Michael Myers butchering a bunch of innocent people. But in this film, the victim is in fact Michael Myers getting butchered by the filmmakers. They've turned Michael Myers into a total joke. His mask looks awful. The characters are so bad, and their dialogue does not fit the tone that has been established in any Halloween film thus far.
I just need to send a quick email.
Alright, that broke me. The email broke me.
Told her you're a graduate student? Graduate of what, junior high? Oh, shut up.
She has an online relationship with this guy.
She's never even seen you. And Yahoo chat rooms do not count. Knights used to spend their entire lives courting ladies that they would never even touch. Yeah, that's before internet porn, man.
You're a real freak, though. Into the real twisted stuff.
To me, he says he's the new king of porn.
Kinky the Clown.
All of these people are paid to go in Michael Myers' house and be on this live stream by Busta Rhymes.
Childhood home of our most brutal mass murderer, Michael Myers.
They are trying to do Halloween. Make it fresh and hip. You know, this movie's about Michael Myers is killing people on a live stream.
Somebody please help us. She really is a very talented actress.
It totally misses the point of the original Halloween. And it's trying to be more like Scream or something like that. But it doesn't work. What they're doing isn't clever or funny. Jamie Lee Curtis is in the beginning of this film, and she gets murdered 15 minutes in. It's such a fuck you to the audience. And then we're forced to watch these thoroughly unlikable characters have to go through a house and say terrible dialogue.
Bitch! Slut!
This movie is so bad, when I saw it when I was 12 years old, I hated it.
Oh my god, that was horrible. I mean, I can't believe it. I thought H2O was bad.
I haven't changed at all. Oh my god.
Hey, what's up, you guys? I was supposed to go to a Halloween party, but I have to go babysit these two little brats downstairs. Surprising and funny. What are you guys watching? Wait, this came after H2O? I thought H2O was the last one.
Of course, this video I made when I was 12 years old would not be complete without a skit at the end where I'm chased by Michael Myers.
Hold up!
Infinitely better than this absolute piece of shit. It's so bad, I don't even mind that there's a crack on the box.
Yes, hello, 911. Yeah, there's a serial killer in my house.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
Happy fucking Halloween!
Who is that? Buster Rhymes?
You know me, I usually just don't let these things go aside. I usually have to do a 20-minute review on them. But I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to do a 10-minute review.
Wait, what? Tyra Banks? What the hell is she doing in this movie? He just goes out and kills everyone in stupid ways. He kills one guy with a tripod. What the When you turn the greatest serial killer of all time into a stupid ass, then your movie needs to be burned to an incinerator and never be spoken of again.
Impulse control disorder.
Yeah, you can explain literally what's wrong with Michael Myers. Yeah, he probably has some kind of mental disorder, but that's not scary.
I think Michael Myers had fits of rage that he could not control. A klepto or a nympho or a pyro.
Oh, he must be schizophrenic and he has anxiety. What makes him scary is that you can't diagnose him. He's not even a human being. Take Dr. Loomis, the person who should be the most rational and intelligent when dealing with Michael Myers. And then when you ask him about Michael Myers in the later films, this is the kind of answer he'd give you.
I prayed that he would burn in hell, but in my heart, I knew that hell would not have him.
Michael Myers is a killer shark. Baggy ass overalls.
One day I would love to talk about Rob Zombie's Halloween films, as well as the spiritual sequel, soft reboot, remake with the same title. Rocky's gotta go film his scene soon. Hours later, filming is about to start. Larry is reading his new book, when suddenly the power goes out.